I'm with Reverend Pat Mahoney, and you just had this event, the 27 Hours of Prayer, in front of the Capitol last week. And how did that go?
Well, it was incredible, Peter. As you well know, we launched Abortion is Not Healthcare, which was a national campaign addressing no taxpayer-funded abortions. And in July, when the President, Speaker of the House, and Majority Leader in the Senate were demanding a vote before the August recess, we mobilized people from all across the country to come pray. And our prayer was pretty straightforward: no vote on health care before the recess. We had prayed, we walked the halls of Congress, and we were thrilled. We were so thankful that as Christians, we don't have to stand and watch events unfold on the world stage, but through prayer and fasting, we can actually help change history. And we did that, no vote. And of course, the town hall meetings took place and all of that. The first full week that Congress was back in session, we felt we needed to have a deep prayer commitment once again. And so the day after the Tea Party, August 13th and 14th, on the exact same spot on the lawn of the Capitol, we had 27 hours of unbroken prayer. We prayed through the night. We walked the halls of the House and Senate office buildings. We prayed for all 435 members of the House, all 100 members of the Senate, that they would embrace life, that they would resist any monies being used. And on a broader level, we prayed against any sort of government control with our healthcare system. It was very powerful, and the most moving, Jim Pullion, who everyone knew as Jim from Michigan, called me 3 times last week. If you don't know who Jim Pullion is, last Friday, in fact it was on 9/11, he was sitting in front of a school holding a pro-life sign, as he did every day for years. A gunman drove by who had targeted him for his pro-life views and shot 4 shots through the sign, killing Jim immediately. The reason Jim called me, he was coming to the 27 hours of prayer.
Oh.
So we had a memorial service for him in the most spectacular of places and meaningful places for him, the lawn of the United States Capitol. Tertullian, who was an early church father, said this: "The blood of the martyrs is the seed of the church." And so what we did, we had over 100 people, we had a big bag of grass seed, picked seed, and just spread out on the whole lawn of the Capitol and just threw it. And they spread that Jim's commitment, his sacrifice, his dedication, and so many others like him who weren't martyred in the fact of losing their lives, but gave their lives in this great cause for life, that God would honor that and bring a harvest. And we would see the tragic killing of innocents come to an end, this betrayal of human rights and violence against women through abortion. So it was fantastic, and we are believing God and praying. We have our next event, we're not stopped here, is August 2nd, and this is going to be a kind of fun event. 71% of Americans oppose taxpayer-funded abortions. I have the whole lawn of the Capitol again on August 2nd. In 200-foot letters, we're going to have, with white fabric, 71. You'll be able to see it from the Washington Monument, to say 71% of Americans don't support this, and it will also show how the government is trying to ram something down the American people's throat that they don't want.
Absolutely. And as far as Jim goes, his shield was a simple sign that was made of foam, and I'm sure the bullets just went right through that thing.
They did.
And it just shows that people say that we're the violent ones, and I'd say in general we're not violent as a movement. You have occasional people who lose it, but in general, that's where we are, is peaceful, standing, praying, and just begging for this to end.
Well, you raise a couple of good points. Number one, Operation Rescue, for example, had over 70,000 arrests. Not one conviction of an act of violence at Operation Rescue. Not one. Making it the single most peaceful protest movement in the history of the United States of America. Number two, what a contrast. An American citizen, for exercising their rights in the public square peacefully and prayerfully, is gunned down. No outcry from the media, like what happened with George Tiller. We had a big news conference in front of the Department of Justice, called for Attorney General Holder and President Obama to speak. Although he was late, I do appreciate the president 48 hours later, was 48 hours too late, but 48 hours later did condemn the shooting and say how despicable it was. So we press forward, we move forward. And again, we brought in front of the FBI, here's a dirty, dark secret that no one reports. As pro-lifers, we walk the gauntlet of death threats. We have had our offices vandalized, anthrax attacks, cars trying to run us down, people smashing our windows. The list goes on, and it's completely underreported. Definitely. But it doesn't matter. You know, we call for the journalism community, and we call for the media to have integrity. They usually don't, but we still press on. But people need to know the kind of gauntlet that peaceful pro-lifers walk every single day for their stance for life.
You bet. And a friend of mine and yours, I'm sure, Mark Eatson, was run over by George Tiller. He was absolutely run over. And, you know, so we stand for peace, and hey, literally, we're in the way of, you know, the abortionists trying to continue what they're doing. How do people find out more about what you're doing and perhaps join in the next one, the 71 Project?
ChristianDefenseCoalition.com. Our phone number is 202-547-1735. Love to hear from you. My email personally is Rev Mahoney, all one word, REVMAHONEY @AOL.com.
Great. Thank you, Pat.
Thanks, Peter. Blessings.